Let's begin with the basic facts. Late last week, there was what was alleged to have been an ICE raid in the LA County community of Paramount. It's just south of downtown Los Angeles. There is a Home Depot there, like there's a Home Depot. There's probably 50 Home Depots in Southern California. And at most Home Depots in Southern California where I live, U-Hauls, lots of places like that, it's not hard to drive into a parking lot and see half a dozen, maybe sometimes 24 day laborers just kind of milling about looking to get picked up by some contracting job for, a half a day's work or whatever. Bill Malugan gets to the bottom of it. By the way, so this raid supposedly happens at this Home Depot, and that became the flashpoint. Friday night, there was violence in Paramount in a protest. There was, on Saturday, another outbreak in Compton, which is more south central Los Angeles. And then the big enchilada took place in downtown, right by City Hall, right by the famed Olvera Street in Los Angeles, if you know that area. The 101 freeway, US 101, southbound right before it ends and turns into the Interstate 5, right in downtown. That was shut down as hundreds, maybe as many as 1,500 protesters, rioters, streamed down the on-ramp to the 101 South and basically destroyed the place. There is a ton of damage to the city of Los Angeles. I've got a column in Hot Air that's running right now that reminds you that in 25 months, the Los Angeles Summer Olympics kick off in the City of Angels. Have you caught Olympic fever yet in Los Angeles? They have a lot of work to do. It's going to take them a long time to clean this up. I cannot wait for that inevitable phone call, the hat-in-hand phone call that's almost certainly going to take place with a broke Gavin Newsom, the governor of probably the brokest state in the country, financially speaking. And he's going to have to find some money to be able to clean all this mess up and repair the damage. And he doesn't have it. The state doesn't have it. Nobody has it. The Olympic Committee doesn't have it. So he's going to go to Donald Trump at some point, and he's going to ask for a disaster area to be declared. That conversation with the president is going to be remarkable. I mean, absolutely remarkable. Donald Trump did make a reference to the riots going on in L.A. He bookended a trip from New Jersey over the weekend back to the White House with a couple of gaggles on the tarmac. Now, when you're on the tarmac and the engines are screaming in the background, it's not as great of an audio as you might otherwise hear, but you can still get the pith of his gist. Here he is in New Jersey, about ready to board Air Force One. And here's what Donald Trump had to say about whether or not officials should heed law enforcement. Cut number 6.
California officials could face federal charges if they stand in the way of the deportation, something that Holman may have suggested.
If officials stand in the way of law and order, yeah, they will face charges. Thank you very much.
If people stand in the way of law enforcement, they will face charges. The media, of course, turned that into, Donald Trump he's going to arrest Gavin Newsom. He's going to arrest his political opponents. Anarchy, fascism, authoritarianism, all this stuff is going to happen. They are standing in the way of law enforcement. And they filed suit. California, Rob Bonta, the Attorney General, and Gavin Newsom filed suit against the Trump administration over the ICE raids because, well, they have no legal ground, actually. It's not going to stop a district court judge, probably, but there's no legal argument they are making. Their claim is that Donald Trump doesn't have the authority to seize control of the California National Guard. And they have exactly no ground to stand on in that. We'll cover that as the show unfurls. More Donald Trump from the tarmac, and he's not going to let the country be torn down by a bunch of 60s and 70s radicals, kids and grandkids that are out there creating mayhem. Cut number 5.
Even if you're not planning to invoke that Insurrection Act, you still plan to send troops?
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden and his auto pen.
He also said, if they spit, we hit. Cut number 3.
We're going to be watching it very closely. And when they spit at people, they spit. That's their new thing. They spit, and worse, you know what they throw at them, right? And when that happens, I have a little statement. They say, they spit, we hit. And I told them, nobody's going to spit on our police officers. Nobody's going to spit on our military, which they do as a common thing. They get up to them this far away, and then they start spitting in their face. That happens, they get hit very hard.
Well, it wasn't just spit that took place. There were instances where rioters were taking hammers to planter beds and chipping away at the brick around the planter beds. They were chipping away at freeway overpasses to break loose the concrete in order to rain down concrete onto trapped CHP officers trying to restore order on the 101 freeway. I mean, that's attempted murder. They're trying to play lawn darts with concrete blocks onto cops. They destroyed a fleet of CHP vehicles, and enough so that dropping a concrete block on the hood, deploying the airbags, that's not cool. That would be called a riot in most things. But that's not what we were led to believe. What we were led to believe, you've got to believe all of these things happening at once. There's no violence. It's not a riot. It's not really happening. And it's only happening in some places, and it's all Trump's fault. That's the argument the Democrats and their accomplices in media pushed on the American people over the weekend.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.